You guys, God bless you guys, God bless you guys. So I'm here and I want to get started with the reading. Um, I opened up the Bible to Psalms 38. It says, a psalm of David, a petition. Okay, so this is David from the Bible, and this is his petition to the Lord. It says, Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your wrath. Your arrows have pierced me, and your hand has come down on me. Because of your wrath, there is no health in my body. There is no soundness in my bones because of my sin. My guilt has overwhelmed me, like a burden too heavy to bear. My wounds fester and are loathsome because of my simple folly. I said simple, but it says sinful. My sinful folly. I am bowed down and brought very low. All day long I go about mourning. My back is filled with searing pain. There is no health in my body. I am feeble and utterly crushed. I groan in anguish of heart. All my longings lie open before you, Lord. My sighing is not hidden from you. My heart pounds, my strength fails me. Even the light has gone from my eyes. My friends and companions avoid me because of my wounds. My neighbors stay far away. Those who want to kill me set their traps. Those who would harm me talk of my ruin. All day long they scheme and they lie. I am like the deaf who cannot hear, like the mute who cannot speak. I have become like one who does not hear, whose mouth can offer no reply. Lord, I wait for you. You will answer, Lord my God. For I said, do not let them gloat or exalt themselves over me when my feet slip. For I am about to fall, and my pain is ever with me. I confess my iniquity. I am troubled by my sin. I have not become, many have become my enemies without cause. Those who hate me without reason are numerous. Those who repay me my good with evil lodge accusations against me, though I seek only to do what is good. Lord, do not forsake me. Do not be far from me, my God. Come quickly to help me, my Lord and Savior. So David put in some type of petition here. Okay, to the divine. All right. David likes put everything out onto the table. David was just like, you know what, like, I feel like I can't hear anything from the divine. I feel this disconnect. I feel like I cannot speak. This is talking about like throat chakra blockages, crown blockages. It could be sacral. It could be the whole nervous system, guys. All the chakras that he's experienced, like this feeling of like that the world is crushing him is what I'm picking up here. The world is like, in a way, like stripping David of everything, you know. It says that the light left his eyes as well. That at least that's the consciousness that's the experience. I'm also hearing wilderness. That's the That's the process, and that's the journey that he was on, is what's coming through here. David was someone that loved the Lord, loved the divine, wanted to be close to the divine at all times. Okay. And this person definitely took accountability. Okay, this person was able to really reflect and sit with all of them. Okay, and for the divine, for him to ask the divine, like, please, like, don't rebuke me in your anger, discipline me in your wrath. David knew to some capacity that he sat with some type of wrath, some type of anger within him. Okay, David knew that he was probably a little short tempered. Okay, even if he always wanted to do good, it's coming through that David was somebody that possibly had a short fuse. Okay, because they wasn't specific about, like, what the sin was about. Okay, or the sinful folly. Okay, but I'm picking up within him, that's where it placed him. Whatever he did, however he was living, however he reacted to things or didn't react to things or couldn't react to things, experiences and all these things, this is where it was putting him. Okay, in this low energy, low vibration. It says, my wounds fester and are loathsome because of my sinful folly. I am bowed down and brought very low. And this energy is talking about he's been living in this, like, low frequency for a while here, and he is putting in some type of, like, mental, spiritual, higher self petition here, and expressing to the divine that his true intentions, like, he just wants to do good. And he doesn't really understand. I can feel from this energy where he might not understand exactly why all of this is happening. It says, my friends and companions avoid me because of my wounds. He seems to be acknowledging the fact that he has a lot of wounds that he's working through. Okay, I was picking up a lot of readings about, like, the shadow self. Okay, about the parts of ourselves that we at times push to the side because it's pretty tough to acknowledge and accept. Okay, it's coming through that at this point, David sighing in the energy is not hidden. Okay, it could have been written all over his body, how, or shown, okay, somehow, how tired David was during this time. It says, my back is filled with searing pain. There is no health in my body. Whether this is the truth or whether this is just his truth, which is the truth to some capacity, right? This is how he was experiencing his life at that time, his world at that time. He felt that no one wanted to be around him, that and in order to feel that way, like, to avoid him, his friends and companions to avoid him because of the wounds that he may carry or have, is showing me that he also avoids those wounds that he carries. But what inspires me the most about this Psalms 38 about David is that he's acknowledging it all. This is a petition. This is him saying, like, I know. And it's not, and this is honest, because there's portions of it where he openly expresses how, how, like, many have become his enemies without any cause. Okay, he openly expresses, like, the external experience that he's experiencing as well as the internal, and they're very reflective of one another, is what I'm picking up here. that his back hurts and he feels like there's no more health in his body on one end, and then on the other end he feels as though people, places, things, energies, and spirits have been repaying his goodness with evil, or like accusations against him, is what it says here. Though I seek only to do what is good. It says, Lord, do not forsake me. Do not be far from me, my God. So this was like a time where David and the divine was completely separated. Like he felt as though there was like some type of disconnect, okay? He felt as though he could not hear source. He felt as though there was no connection to his higher self, okay? He felt that he was lost in this like world of like you know, despair is what's coming through here. All right. He also says that those who want to kill me set their traps. So there's a lot of things that he has gone through in this energy, and that expresses that he has to like watch his back. This is how he feels. He has to like watch his back where he goes, because he's noticing a pattern of traps that are being set. Okay. The anguish that's coming from his heart space is almost kind of unbearable for David. At this time, this petition is more so like a truthful, honest moment with himself, and knowing that he is not where, or he doesn't feel that he's where he's supposed to be, you know, or experiencing the things that he would like to experience, or would never. He's experiencing things that he would never like to experience. Like, he's experiencing a lot of interactions, a lot of things in his life that he would love to just never ever witness or go through or feel. When we go through things like this, it can take us to a place where we feel almost like the divine source, the universe, has forsaken us. Okay? But in this energy, David expresses that he knows very well that the divine can help him. He knows that in order to receive this, he needs to higher his vibrations and higher his frequencies. But before you can do that, it's coming through here that you must almost petition or confess or take accountability or be completely honest with the things that we try to avoid that eventually crush us. With the things that we just want to kind of put to the side, but that weighs on David here. He feels it in his back. He feels severe pain in his back. He said, my heart pounds, my strength fails me. So he's also suffering from what I could imagine is some form of anxiety as well. He's under the delusion or the illusion of despair, searing pain, utterly crushed, anguish of a heart. This guy is going through it. What? Traps being set left to right. Being accused of things that David never did. Being repaid with evil when they do good is what's coming through here. David was somebody that was at this time like super tired in the energy. But I'm picking up that even when he was that tired, what did he say? Like, what was his petition about? He didn't curse the divine. He didn't get angry. He asked for the support. It says, I said, I will watch my ways and keep my tongue from sin. I will put a muzzle on my mouth while in the presence of the wicked. So what he did was he silenced himself in the energy. He got to the point where when there was wickedness happening and he was tempted to say something or do something that was a participant of, he sat still. He silenced himself. He put a muzzle on his mouth. You know, this is a spiritual muzzle, not an actual muzzle, but to give you a visual. It's like, I could imagine like the anger and the frustration within David at times when around like wickedness. And knowing that he silenced himself intentionally to keep himself out of this lower frequency and lower vibration. There's like an emphasis here about like not feeling the urge or the impulse to rescue in this energy. So I remain utterly silent. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Not even saying anything good. So, yeah, David was somebody that got caught up real quick in the energy, okay? And it was because of his gifts, okay? So, for example, you're out and about and there's a bunch of people talking some negative shit. Saying the worst things ever. And then David came here and said something super contradicting to what they're saying or super happy and optimistic. Let's just say, for example, those people are not going to say, wow, that was really optimistic. No, those people are going to know exactly what traps to set, the evil, the accusations, the gossip, the hate. Every positive thing that David ended up saying built him more and more enemies, built him more and more hate, built him numerous and like a lot. And he's just like, dang, like I was never trying to create any type of smoke. I was just thinking that, you know, I could help. And he ended up calling on for the help of the divine once he felt so detached from the divine. 1919 on the timer. It talks about an energy here where he was called to sit still and to be silent in this energy. When it comes to this one, it shows like some type of like wisdom that was gained. Around wickedness, David became more of an observer. Okay, around wickedness, David became more of a silent person, more of an introvert. I'm picking up that David was an extrovert in a selective way. 2002 on the timer. David was an extrovert, but in a very selective way after going through this process. God bless you guys abundantly. Very selective extrovert, where it's like his personality, his joy, his optimism, his freedom, everything like that could be like opened up and like expressed to the right frequency. And then the wickedness only will get silence in this energy. It says, so I remain utterly silent, not even saying anything good at all. Okay. It says, but my anguish increased when I did this. It said, while I what it says? My heart grew hot within me. So this is what I was picking up. It was like this one is like, David stood silent, but there was like some type of boiling energy underneath, like that became like very short-tempered, very angry inside. Probably from all the unjust that he was hearing and seeing and couldn't say anything, because then it would create a target on his back without him even wanting that type of energy. So his anguish increased, because if you have a calling to help, but you can't rescue, and you know this, imagine what that does inside of you. Especially if you have a fire that's burning within you, right? That's when I spoke with my tongue. While I meditated, the fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue. Wow. So it's showing me here that David was like, he used that passion. He used all that possible anger, and it's almost like a transmutation. Like where he transmuted it and used it as fuel in like some type of like creative way. Then I spoke with my tongue. Just show me, Lord, my life's end and the number of my days. Let me know how fleeting my life is. You have made my days a mere handbreadth. The span of my years is as nothing before you. Everyone is but a breath, even those who seem secure. Surely everyone goes around like a mere phantom. In vain they rush about, heaping on up wealth, without knowing whose it will finally be. That's another thing, friend. It's there. Okay, so before I was gonna get on live, guys, I was meditating on this energy specifically, and it was one that may be suffering from or has suffered a period of time, at the time suffering, but now understands, or at this very time suffering but will understand later. Something about like unemployment, being let go from a job, at the time seeming like if it was like some type of injustice I was picking up here, or testing a divine creature about how they feel when the numbers in their bank account goes low. Okay, how they feel about themselves, okay, is what's coming through here. You know, when those type of doors slam shut, I was picking up on this energy that could have been like extremely hard on themselves, or some type of like co-workers and other people, places, things, maybe family members, friends judging them, or that really superficial question about like, what do you do for a living, and the embarrassment of not having anything to say or something like this, okay, or you know, and I'm picking up on this specific energy, and it was for like a divine reason, okay? I'm picking up that job was lowering your energy and lowering your frequency so that you can settle in a cage, okay, for the price of $1, okay, to pay some bills, okay? to give you some type of like self-worth or something like this. But the divine is showing me that there was a door that was closed in your life because your purpose is much bigger than that job, is what it came through to be. And I don't know what that was about, but while I was meditating, it was like, wow, this person like probably felt inadequate, like they failed, like life was crushing them, like they didn't have any resources. They were tested in every single way is what I'm picking up here. And even their character, you know, where their loved ones or friends or family or peers or whoever, you know, doubted them because of some type of unemployment situation or getting let go or getting something like this. It could have even been a injury because David expresses that his back was hurt. Okay, so I'm also picking up that as well. And it says David is noticing like the span of his years is like very long but very short, as it's just a breath in time. Even the ones that seem secure has the same breath in time. Or even your security, friend, you realize that the security that you have is just a breath in time, friend. We all want to feel secure. You know what I mean? I think that's an important thing to feel. Says, surely everyone goes around like a mere phantom. In vain they rush about heaping on up wealth without knowing whose it will finally be. And that's what I was getting here too, is that it was somebody that was going through some type of real financial hardship. But it's crazy because like I'm getting this example where it's like, okay, let's say it's for 5 years long or something like this, okay? 27 on the timer. And it's like, why during those 5 years of financial hardship or something like this, people around you could be not only doing well for themselves, but also like making you feel bad or talking behind your back or something like this about you not doing as good as them or something. But in this energy, it's coming through that those people are too quick to talk because they're playing the short game, not the long game in this energy. Because they will not know who it will finally belong to in this energy. Okay? Because it wasn't David in the Bible like a shepherd's boy, and he was birthed by a woman out of wedlock, and he had brothers, but they were all from another mother or something like this, and he was always looked at like this you know, weak person, and he ended up being a king. He always felt like a little bit like inadequate compared to his brothers because his brothers were soldiers. They fought in the army, which was a very big, it was like an honor. It was like a badge of honor for where they came from. And David was a musician, I believe. He played music and he helped his father with the animals. And he wasn't allowed to go fight because he was not from the same mother, or he was seemingly weaker or seemingly younger or something like this. And he ended up being a king. Years later, after all the mockery, after all the gossip, after all the projections, After all the traps, after all the evil and the accusations, that verse really stuck out to me. It's in chapter 39 in the book of Psalms. Verse 6, surely everyone goes around like a mere phantom in vain. They rush about heaping up wealth without knowing whose it will finally be. But now, Lord, what do I look for? My hope is in you. Save me from all my transgressions. Do not make me the scorn of fools. I was silent. I would not open my mouth. For you are the one who has done this. Ooh. The divine silenced David for some time. The divine told David, expressed to David that he needs to sit still and in silence in order to really be guided in this energy. It says, for you are the one who has done this. Remove your scourge from me. I'm getting it. It's like divine protection as well. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we get we go through the worst things ever, but it's because the divine understands that if we didn't go through that worst experience or that horrible experience, we would have stood complacent and stood right there and settled for less. I'm getting like a push out energy. I'm getting when everything crumbles down, that's when you're able to rebuild. But how can you rebuild if it's already built and in the way? How can you build something that's actually yours or for you? It says, save me from all my transgressions. Do not make me the scorn of fools. I was silent, I would not open my mouth, for you are the one who has done this. Remove the scourge from me. I am overcome by the blow of your hand. When you rebuke and discipline anyone for their sin, you consume their wealth like a moth. Surely everyone is but a breath. Yeah, at that point, David felt legitimately like just one breath. Like his entire existence became this feeling of, and that was it. Like that's how he felt about everything. He's like, dang, this energy is definitely humbling. It says, hear my prayer, Lord. Listen to my cry for help. I dwell with you as a foreigner, a stranger, as all my ancestors were. Wow. Look away from me that I may enjoy life again before I depart and I am no more. Oh wow, it's kind of like almost like David didn't really fully understand why the divine was challenging him so much. David had no understanding at that moment. All he was able to do was feel the pain. All he was able to do was feel the current situation happening all at once to him. Okay? He couldn't understand why God had his hand on him like this, and why he couldn't understand why he was paying attention to him and why he was allowing him to go through all these things. And he's like, can you help? David's like, can you help? And then if you can't, just look away from my path so that I can enjoy life in the meantime. Oh my gosh, David was feeling so watched by his heavenly angels and ancestors and the divine, but couldn't understand okay, if I have eyes on me and if your hand is on me so heavily, Why am I going through all this? Stop watching me is what I'm hearing here. It's like this one that's like, someone's like, fine, you know, just stop watching me then just stop. You know what I mean? Because he felt some type of pressure and heaviness to the hand that was on his life. He felt the force. Sometimes they rhyme, 35, 35 on the timer. The force from source. He felt it. And he felt that him, along with all of his ancestors, were strangers to the divine. But somehow he was like dwelling, like, or trying to get like pulled, like almost pulled, I feel. Pulled, pushed, like something like this. Says, I dwell with you as a foreigner. So someone that dwells with the divine is invited to there's definitely faith, hope. There's a spirit within David that would not budge in regards to this like feeling that something was gonna come up from all of this transgression. Even though he may have felt apart, or even though he may have felt separated, or even though he may have felt inadequate, or from an ancestor lineage that supposedly wasn't divine either, like he felt like almost like a visitor, but his faith was in the divine. His faith was in himself, right? Absolutely. It says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. And then also that's something that's like I was getting to. It was like somebody that's like been sitting more still. Okay. That's been learning like patience on like a whole nother level. Okay. That was a strong message. It was like all of this has taught David how to sit still, how to be more patient, and gave him like that undeniable push to get reunited with the Creator. It says, he turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit. Come through, Holy Spirit. You know, there's like something here where it's like talking about like, yeah, it felt like David. Also, friends, this might resonate. Because it felt like we were almost like in the pits of hell. And there was no clear, evident proof of it other than what you knew you went through. And how it unfolded. I'm hearing like behind closed doors for you. Oh, this is the fun part, yo. Are you ready? It says, he lifted me out the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Wow. So this was definitely a death, a rebirth, a transformation. 39:39 on the timer. I'm getting like David was like a true empath. Like, Look how much he suffered for the experience that he was having. And a lot of it had to do with things that like he was not in control of. He had to learn, is what I'm picking up here. How's everybody doing? Good? Hi, everybody. Yes, babies. You're right. You're right. A lot of us do create our own like troubles because if we just thought like if okay, for example, if you lose your job or something like this, right? 41:14 on the timer, and like why do we take ourselves through like that harsh journey of like feeling inadequate or getting even though all those emotions are so necessary, because I think that if you don't go through all that stuff, I think that you won't be able to do what David was able to do, which was you know learn more about himself, learn more about where he didn't want to be, who he didn't want to be engaging with. Or he, at this point, it said that he wasn't even allowed to. Like, it was almost as if like he was completely silenced when around wickedness. Okay? It was almost as if like nothing in him allowed him to speak or even express anything. It got to that point. That's how heavy the divine's hands were on him. Okay. And before like this reading, I was like singing this song that I learned like really, really young. And I found it like interesting that like I remembered it, because it was like back in like the files of like so long ago. And it talks about an energy here where like there's a place that you can go where you're changed in the energy, and it's where you're changed in the energy that's where you belong. Okay? And this place is secret. Okay? This place is like a secret place where you can go and you change in a divine way, and it's exactly where you belong. But it was funny because David was a singer, and I can see here that he's speaking to the divine. He's speaking to God. He feels very separated but very like called. It's like, could you imagine that? Like, you feel separate from God, but like you feel the weight of his hands, of his eyes on you, of the divine, the universe. It's like calling you to just stay still, to just be quiet. And grabs you from the slimy pits of mud and mirror and just sets you on a nice little rock. for the first time in a long time. I could imagine like David just standing there on that rock with like mud all over his body and reflecting about everything that he had just gone through. And looking down at his fingernails and his hands and everything is muddy. And then out of nowhere, he's just on this rock. Oh my gosh, guys, look. It says rock right here. This is a little pin. Period. Let me stop. 45 on the timer. Oh, it says here. Oh, there is a God who loves me, who wraps me in his arms, and there is a place where I'm changed, and that's where I belong. So take me to that place, Lord, to that secret place where I can be with you, and you can make me like you. Wrap me in your arms. There is a God who loves me, who wraps us in his arms, and there is a place where I'm changed, and that's where I belong. So take me to that place, Lord, to that secret place where I can be with you, and you can make me like you. Wrap me in your arms, eh? Wrap me in your arms, eh? Wrap me in your arms, eh? Yeah, I was hearing that like a lot. And I feel that that was like the petition and the cry and the connectedness that David was trying to have, or not trying, but naturally diving into in this energy. You know, even asking, like, you know, the divine, like, depart from me, man. If you're gonna keep staring at me and making me go through all this, like, depart, like, it's like, let me enjoy. It says that I may enjoy my life again before I depart and I am no more. It's temporary gratification, temporary comfort. You know, this is talking about like temporary, like that ignorance is bliss, so that we don't feel anything, so that we don't reconnect with our creator in this energy. It says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He has my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise of our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. And then, you know, this rebirth, it's like I think that David now, and I feel that, you know, walking around now in this part of the text, yes, the divine is one with David and David is one with the divine. Where now where this energy is felt is more so one that everyone can kind of see this. And the fear that it's talking about is not fear that's like in despair and turmoil and all. No, it's one of reverence and trust and respect. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, who does not look to the proud, to those who turn aside to false gods. Also, David was stripped away from any type of like idolatry from other things, and from his self-idolizing, even the titles that this life might give us. Okay, stripped away from that, because I got that like heavy thing emphasis about like employment, unemployment, all this, and what does it mean and all that. So no more idols. You know, David was completely like transformed in this energy. Any idols came tumbling down, they crushed. Like, it's like either these idols continue to make me feel severe pain on my back, you know, destruction, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, everything. Or so it's like that proud energy, like that pride that's, because before, guys, I used to think to myself like, wow, I really have no pride and no ego. But I think to myself now, and I'm just like, I do have pride and ego, but it's not a pride and ego of like an elusive one or a toxic one or a low vibrational one, you know what I mean? And I feel that this energy is accepting themselves for exactly who they are and not trying to remove their pride and ego, but have it be transformed to be proud and have like a healthy ego with themselves and for themselves. And it allows like others to see that and like do the same as well and trust that process as well. Says, who does not look to the proud, to those who turn aside to false gods. Many, Lord my God, are the wonders you have done, the things you planned for us. No one can compare with you. Were I to speak and tell of your deeds, they would be too many to declare. I can definitely relate to how David feels here. Like, there's not enough like minutes in the day to try to express all the wonders and the miracles of the divine. has done, will do, will forever continue to do, and will just be. Like, really. I don't think, like, our souls can sing it, but our human bodies, like, we can't really. We can find different ways to try to express it, but the gravity of it is. I think that's the special part about being a human too, because then it allows you to know and to trust, and it detaches you from like a feeling of having to prove or to save or to rescue or to debate or to rebuttal or to anything like that. Like, there will be too many to declare. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but my ears you have opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not require. Then I said, here I am, I have come. It is written about me in the scroll. Woo! What? I desire to do your will, my God. Your law is within my heart. Yeah. It's funny, it's because it's like we could come from, in the 3D, we could come from like, situations and experiences that will almost make you feel like you're absolutely no one and nothing at all. But your name is written in the scrolls. Yes. And it's not our job to understand how things will play out. We just know and trust. You know what I mean? The human mind can picture the most ideal version of yourself for success, and then you can get there and then it just be a beginning to a new chapter, because the human mind cannot fathom, like, let's say for example, we sit here and we picture our most perfect self and what we desire, and we sit there and we allow ourselves to become that, and we get there and we notice we're only just scratching the surface. We notice that on the other side there's a new path to a higher self, more goals. Because we're not designed to understand how we're going to get there. We're not designed to understand how everything is going to play out. We're designed to feel, trust, and just know. When we're in a low frequency, when we're in a high frequency, we're designed to know that. And the most important thing here is acknowledgement, accountability, and honesty when it comes to those things. I'm seeing this picture here is someone going down like a path here. Yeah. It's really pretty. How's everybody doing? Hey, y'all. Hey, guys. We're gonna keep reading, friends, because today feels like such a good day to read, and just to be. It really does. right? And I hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful day today. 59:59 on the timer. All right. All right. And also something about disclaimers too, that I am one to also tend to give a lot of disclaimers. Like, but I've been silenced. I've been silenced. I can't give disclaimers. Uh, this is an energy that if it's for you, then it is, and if it's not, then that's okay too, right? Period. Okay, let me see. Oh, and it says here like that the sacrifices and all these things, like that's not what interests source. That's not what interests the divine. The sacrifices, the the offerings, the this or that, like none of that impressed the source. None of it. It says, Then I said, Here I am, I have come. It is written about me in the scroll. I desire to do your will, my God. Your law is within my heart. So it's something that's within you, friend. It's something that's already embedded within you, something that you remembered. And I'm talking about something that you remembered prior to your life experience, okay? You ever looked into a newborn baby's eyes? And there was like this different kind of light that you don't see after that newborn phase. And it's not to say that we don't carry light within us, because we all do, but as you experience the world around you and life around you, you start to forget where you originate from. And it's our journey back home. It's our journey back to remembrance of ourselves. And it's not an easy journey. That's why not everybody is doing it. Okay? And that's okay. Right? Is what I'm getting here. So, I proclaim your saving acts in the great assembly. I do not seal my lips, Lord, as you know. I do not hide your righteousness in my heart. I speak of your faithfulness and your saving help. I do not conceal your love and your faithfulness from the great assembly. This is talking about collective. Do not withhold your mercy from me, Lord. May your love and faithfulness always protect me, for troubles without number surround me. My sins have overtaken me, and I cannot see. They are more than the hairs on my head, and my heart fails within me. Be pleased to save me, Lord. Come quickly, Lord, to help me. May all who want to take my life be put to shame and confusion. May all who desire my ruin be turned back in disgrace. May those who say to me, Aha, aha, be appalled at their own shame. Yeah, I was getting that too, friend. That there's like this energy here that like the ones that like mocked you, made fun of you, tried to make you feel certain ways about yourself, okay, without them knowing, friend. I feel this energy, or with them knowing, but without them really fully understanding what they do. Okay, I'm feeling from this energy that just your presence alone automatically sends whatever is not for you, like right back to them. I'm feeling this energy here, and it's more so, it's like, this doesn't belong to me. It's not mine. So I'm just simply sending it to where it belongs to. Or not sending it, but almost like giving it back. You know, like, hey, like, that's not mine. Here you go. Take it. And when they take it back, friend, they feel what they tried to do onto you, if that makes sense. And they feel it all. You know, in the collective, we get a lot of downloads about like a lot of things backfiring, and that's something that is going to happen throughout all of humanity, all of history, life after lifetime. This is something from the beginning to the end of these processes, okay? Because it's like so important for everybody to like really sit and learn with whatever they're doing, okay? Whether that may seem like it's good or bad, whatever the case may be. 6556 on the timer is what I'm picking up here. It's like I get this energy of people that make fun of other people, and they're like appalled with themselves. They get sick. They get confused. They get depressed. They're disgusted with themselves, you know, and it's because of that aha ha ha energy that they send out to other people. They laugh at them, they mock them, and then they have like this nausea within them that is just like, even sitting with themselves repels them and appalls them, and you know, stuff like this. So, and it's their own shame. So for example, if someone's trying to make me feel shame, knowing that I feel no shame doing what I'm doing, right? Wherever I am, right? I feel no shame, or whatever the case may be. They try to cast shame. They then will be that like person that's filled with like undeniable heavy amounts of shame within them. It says, but may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who long for your saving help always say, the Lord is great. I like to say God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. It says, but as for me, I am poor and needy. May the Lord think of me. You are my help and my deliverer. You are my God. Do not delay. So it's funny. I feel in David's like statement there, it's a little bit like an insider joke between him and Source. It's more so like, yeah, sure, like I'm poor and I'm needy. Just think of me like that. Because for whatever reason, when David was actually poor and needy, God had all his attention on David. And that's where David was like, yeah, I actually need you. I don't want anything else. I need my higher consciousness. I need a divine plan. You are my help and my deliverer. You are my God. Do not delay. That's beautiful, friends. It says, that was, so we did Psalms 38, 39, and Psalms 40. Let's keep on going, guys, because this is crazy. It says, blessed are those who have regard for the weak. The Lord delivers them in times of troubles. Friend, I can already tell that the collective are divine lights that won't laugh at people. Like, they're not bullies. Doesn't mock. Doesn't talk before they can understand a full situation. You know what I mean? Doesn't jump to assumptions and conclusions and all that. 7002 on the timer. You know, and has regard for the weak because they've been weak at some point. Yes, absolutely. David was somebody that, like he said in the beginning in the chapter 38, that he felt weak, you know, and it may have not been the truth. It may have been the truth for that time in his life, but he's not going to be somebody that disregards the weak or mistreats the weak just because they're weak. That's sick. That's sick. Like an energy that like abuses their power because they know that that person is in need, and they know that that person's in need, so they go ahead and they use that opportunity to abuse their power over that person that's in need. But blessed are those who have regard for the weak. The Lord delivers them in times of trouble. So when you have troubles, friend, you might notice that your troubles get resolved in divine timing, and that's your blessing, because you've never, or you would never, or you wouldn't disregard the weak ever. For me, I don't know what the weak is. For me, I don't really know what the weak is. Like, what is the weak? You know what I mean? But you know, there are some like cruel, demented, sick energies and spirits out there that will look at somebody and say, this person's weak and I'm going to do my big one. Those people that do that will not have any type of help in the times of their troubles. 7227 on the timer. It says, the Lord delivers them in time of trouble. The Lord protects and preserves them. Yes, friend, you're being preserved. You're like in this beautiful like time capsule, just getting like polished and cleaned, and you're being preserved at this time, friend. It says they are counted among the blessed of the land. He does not give them over to the desire of their foes. And that's another thing too. The foes, y'all, the haters, oh, they get so mad because the universe, the divine, is never gonna hand you over to them. You know, that's the truth there. 7337. So they get mad when they can't have what they see in you. Right now, I'm reading. It says, be the change you want to see in the world. Friend, that could be something that you do without you even noticing on a day-to-day basis. I know, friends, that you guys are the change in this world. When you decide to just be you. In full wholeness, in full completeness, in full I have a a download that I got the other day that I still on my camera roll, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to post this because, but yeah, y'all. Yes. Yes, and that's another thing. It's like you can definitely feel it in the energy. You can feel it, it's pretty funny, right? Because someone can tell you something, and this is specifically for the creatures of the light that have experienced like discernment, the gift of discernment. Okay, the gift of discernment is is a gift that can sometimes feel like a curse, but it's not. The gift of discernment is something here where you can translate what's really being said and done in the energy, and a lot of the time you're the only one in the room that can do it. A lot of these moments. And it's a feeling that you eventually come to peace with it. But friends, if you guys ever want to talk about the gift of discernment, if you feel that you definitely have this gift, you are not alone. You're not alone. There's many divine fine creatures that have the gift of discernment. And I know that at times they could be trippy. And I know at times it could be like, wow, like, how do you prove this one? But the reality is that you can't prove it. You have to allow time to pass. And you have to allow the universe to handle it. But your discernment showed you already. Your discernment told you already. You felt it, right? So you already know like the inside scoop of a lot of things that you maybe didn't even want to know. But that's exactly why you have this gift of discernment, because you won't abuse it. You'll never abuse the gift that was bestowed into you. And that's exactly why you hold it. Andres says, people need to be who they are. It makes them who they are. I am going my own way. I think that each person has their own path. And I truly believe that, like, if my path looks this way and your path looks a completely different way, it doesn't necessarily mean that either one is wrong. As long as you know that your path is leading you closer to your higher self and the divine source, and that it's bringing you back home. Okay, to that I am, right? Or if you're already at that I am, to remain in that I am, right? Yes. And you will find yourself divinely guided, divinely protected. You will find yourself being helped by the universe in ways that you cannot put into words. Absolutely. That if you told a friend or if you told the family, if you told somebody on the street, they might think you're crazy or something like this. Because it's not for anybody else. It's for you, friend. When those things happen, it's not for you. I mean, there's moments where you'll be able to share and testify and all these things, but that's not you doing it. That's the divine allowing you to know when the right timing is for that. You know what I mean? And you feel all of that. I was also getting that, like, each soul that's here on this earth signed like some kind of contract before they got here. So we cannot like look this way or that way and compare. You know, we can't compare because we all signed a contract, 8118 on the timer, to live the life that we're living so that we can learn what we need to learn. You know? And sometimes during my readings, I'll say, make it make sense. But I was thinking, I giggle to myself and I'm like, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. Yes. And the fine divine creatures of the light do not need permission. We don't need approval. We don't need any of that. You only need to be yourself. Absolutely. That's beautiful. The universe and I are one. That's beautiful. I don't care what others think about me, sis. Period. You know, that was a battle that I had to fight, y'all. 82-28. And when I tell you I grabbed that little thing by the what? And it wasn't me. It was the divine within me. It was something that I had to acknowledge and to accept and to face head on and say, why do I care so much about what people think about me? Why do I care so much about what people are going to say about me? Why do I care so much about... And then this is, of course, like, okay, well, I care if it's the truth. Like, if it's reflective of who I am. But the thing is, the only way that that will be something that's even possible is if that person saw themselves in you, like, or if that person saw themselves in me. That would be the only way where it could be somewhat accurate. But even then, oh, it's the energy as well, babies. It's not the title, it's not the situations, it's not what happens. Oh, wow, thank you so much. Wow. God bless you abundantly. Wow. Thank you so much, Kofi, Cole, Peppery. That's very sweet of you. Wow. It's not so much about the titles. What was I saying? Ooh. Not so much about the positions here, what you do. You know, like what's crazy is that like you could find yourself doing a little bit of everything throughout this life, and it's like really funny because it's like I'm getting the divine expressing like, okay, for example, if you're clean, like you clean, right, for a living, like let's say you do like construction, or you teach, or I don't know, whatever. That's just like the surface experience of like the cool things that humans are able to do. But it has nothing to really do with who you really are. It's just a cool thing to do for this like human experience, you know? That's why there's like uniforms and stuff like that. Like the police officers, they put on a uniform, and as soon as you see the uniform, you know that they're a police officer. Or the cars, the police cars, they're in the police car. So, but that's not who they are at all. Because when they go home, they take off the uniform and they turn in the police car. And then they're left with themselves and who they are. Their soul, pretty much. Oh, Andre goes, and like Batman said, you never have to thank me. No, I don't teach. I live my own life in showing the right way. You know, there's like roles that we will play, right? There's roles that we will play that are it should be an alignment and expression to our soul's path. Okay, so there'll be like hints and clues. It's no coincidence that you did that job for a while, or that you dated that person, or you married this person, or you had these. Like, there's no coincidence when it comes to these things. They're all little, like, little details to help you remember, right? To help you remember who you are. And it might just be an experience where you're in, and then you only experience it one time, and you're like, that's not me. And you wouldn't have never known if you never did it, right? You would have never known that that's not you, but that doesn't align with you if you never did. I feel like that's the beautiful part of being human. Period. Yeah. Oh, I was getting that too. This religion thing. It's so much smaller than what people think it is. You know, the religions, again, I'm respectful of everybody's religion, of everybody's path, because I'm not you. Like, so I would love to hear, I would love to hear. And, I like to study religions. I like to study all those things and stuff. They're things to do, to learn about, to experience in this lifetime. But the religions is not the end all be all. You could read this whole book front to back, and every single time you read it, you'll receive something different depending on the chapter of your life you're on. That's the beauty about our experience here, you know? Yes. 90:09 on the timer. And if you realize that you feel like restricted and caged in and oppressed and filled with shame or guilt or something like this, then that's how you know that something needs to change, right? That your soul is sad. And it's a cry out from the heart. Oh, thank you. It says the depth of life is infinite. Always something new to discover. Absolutely. Absolutely. God bless you abundantly. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Gabe Horn. God bless you abundantly. It's true. There's always something new to discover. 11:11, my time, y'all. Period. So, this channel also is fun because I've noticed that as I like channel different messages and things like this, I'm connecting with so many things in this universe that's to the surface, it could seem like maybe like a little contradicting or confusing, but the universe doesn't care about anything in regards to like being boxed in and closed into a certain belief or way of living. We don't know it all. And it's funny because a lot of us can feel it all. A lot of us can feel it all, but we don't know it all. Or maybe we do know it all, but we don't know that we know it all. So, it's crazy. Yeah. Yes. Yes, friends. Sometimes it's so much you can't even put it in words. Right. Sometimes it's so much you cannot even put it in words, is what I'm experiencing a lot in this chapter of my life. You know, I get so many downloads on a regular basis that it's just like, it'll take me thousands of readings to just get out the downloads that I've been receiving in 5 minutes. But it's beautiful because it's like this stillness. Yeah. It's like this stillness. 49, 94, 49 on the timer. There you go. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna finish this water and then refill. Yup. And then some of us might experience them in dreams. Like dreams that are more real than your waking life. It can get to a point where you don't separate the two, is what I'm noticing. That you're just as eager to go to sleep in your dream world than you are to be awake in whatever we're in right now, waking world, right? But I don't know, these are just words, y'all. To me, it all happens. To me, it's all information, it's all downloads, it's all data. It's all an experience. Neither one is not real. All of it is real. And it's to show us something about ourselves. And a lot of people say, well, I could have a prophetic dream about somebody else. But really, before we go rushing to say that I've had this prophetic dream about you, this is what happened, no, you need to sit and ask yourself, what about this dream was about me? What can I take from this dream? What can I take from these downloads? And if I'm having them, then there's an entire collective all around each nation that's experiencing the same downloads in a different nature, experience, and form. Same vibration, same energy, same download. Same reason, manifested in different ways. Yes. Hey, Brittany. Life's treating me good. Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful day as well. Those of you that have been tapped in for some time, y'all already know what be happening sometimes in this channel. And for those of you that are new here, I feel like y'all already know too in some way. A lot of iterations, a lot of downloads, a lot of different expressions, a lot of different tempos, energy. It shows you that, it shows me that there's no like limitations to what the divine, the universe really wants to express and show us. You can't put a cap on it. Even our biggest imagination, even our biggest visualization, even our most grandest, most ideal way of living and being is too small for the divine and how the universe feels about you. The sun card, joy. It could be the most extraordinary thought you've ever had, and it's still too small in compared to how the divine views, sees, and feels about you. Success, vitality, and love. One of the principal divinities of the Ganchi people, this is a little storyline, y'all. It says the indigenous people of the Canary Islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Magic is also known as the god of the sun and light. Magic is notable as a non-binary deity. According to legend, Gaiota, the devil, imprisoned magic within Tenerife's Mount Tide, sucking the light of the world. The Ganges petitioned. Oh, and this is a second word that says petition. In the book of Psalms 38, David started out with a petition. It says the Ganges petitioned Archaman, the supreme god, for the return of magic. Magic is the name of the sun, Majek. It says, after a battle, Archaman freed Majek and sealed Gaiota back in the volcano. Light returned. It's believed any eruption of the volcano is Gaiota trying to escape. The Ganges have a tradition of lighting bonfires during the time of eruptions to scare Gaiota and keep him within the volcano. Meaning, joy. Here comes the sunshine after a period of darkness. You can expect a boost in well-being and mood. If you've been waiting for matters to get better, start smiling. After some challenges, you are stepping into success and are full of energy and a zest for life. You're exuding confidence and following the law of attraction. Abundance is coming your way. Family life is blessed, and if you are planning to extend your abroad, there could be good news for you. If you've had a discouragement with someone, reconciliations can happen now. Celebrations and vacations are beautifully starred by this card. Love and proposals are also possibilities. It says, I shine my light and my radiance attracts more success. They captured Majek the sun, and they locked Majek the sun, the joy, into the volcano. They caged Majek the sun, joy, into this dark place for some time. And then when Majek the sun was released from this volcano, this deep dark volcano, they put Gaiota back in the volcano, and Gaiota was the one that stole Majek and put Majek into the volcano of darkness. And something about bonfires too. This is specific, but for whatever reason, I've been experiencing lots and lots of bonfires this summer. I'm talking about 3D ones, okay, like here in our like physical experience. Lots of bonfires and s'mores and roasting marshmallows, and I was just wondering why. and I kind of could understand why. It's very symbolic. Um, you know, something about the wood when it's burning, okay, and then you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait until the wood is completely gone of its life. Like the wood starts off really big and like living. The wood is living, and if you watch it, if you stay long enough to watch all of the wood burn, you can see it take its last forms of final steps of life. Something about that, friend. But it's funny because like over the weekend, like we were doing a bonfire, and I grabbed the guitar and I started singing campfire songs. And mind you, I don't play guitar and I'm not a singer. But for whatever reason, there was so much joy within me that I felt the need to sing some campfire songs that were off the top of the dome piece. I don't know if they were good. They could have been absolutely horrific. But it was a song of the soul, and I really did feel healing. I didn't feel it at the time. I felt it at the time. I didn't know what was happening until right now, where I realized that there's something like really healing coming through about when you have like a song to sing or a rhyme or a hymn or something to just let it out, and it doesn't really matter how it sounds to others or even how it sounds to yourself, because what's crazy is that that's also a sign of like repression and suppression of the soul, when the soul just wants to sing for joy. And the soul is funny because soul in Spanish is son too, okay. After a period of darkness, you're stepping into a season of success here, is what's coming through. I'm also getting that period of darkness was success. That period of darkness you may have not known, but at the moment you may have not known, but that was the pinnacle of success in your life at that time. It's exactly what you needed to go through, friends. What I'm picking up here, that darkness. Past, present, future, of course. Four of Pentacles came out. Money, prosperity, and success. Again, you are, wow. It says the Four of Pentacles indicates that money is certainly on your mind at the moment. Times may have been tough, but prosperity is not too far away now. You're also being asked questions by the universe as regards your attitude to money. Well, I was getting that too. It was like someone that was like going through a hardship with unemployment or with money. It says you're also being asked questions, and I'm hearing somebody asking themselves a lot of questions. You know what I mean? It says, are you coining it in for good reason? So I'm going to say, instead of are you, I'm going to say am I, okay? Am I coining it in for good reason? Am I investing my money wisely? Am I getting to enjoy my wealth? It could be a matter of balance. Yes, you should save, but you also need to enjoy your money. It's time to reassess your attitude and ensure it's serving your interests in the best ways possible. The good news is that if you can settle any disagreements with others over assets and investments, it could result in greater abundance. Wow. So it's this one that talks about like, you know, when we want to hold on to things and then we want to hold on to something so tightly that's ours or something, and then the next second we lose like 5 other things that was ours for trying to hold on to that one thing, rather than if we just let go of that one thing, we would have let go of what wasn't truly ours to begin with, and we would have taken care of what was actually ours. 11111 on the timer. mm, yes, beautiful. But yeah, friends, here we have the Sun and the Four of Pentacles, which shows me that there's like something here in regards to money that some of us may have been facing some type of hardships. That could have seemed like it was like a really, really hard, dark time of our lives, like really challenging. But once like you came out of that darkness and that volcano, like it was like the vitality and the success is still remains. It's almost as if like that darkness preserved you. Those hard times preserved you. Because in this analogy about the job, I'm getting a specific job that was draining someone, that separated someone from their path, their true vitality, their true shine. It may have even restricted downloads and communication. But it was something that kept you financially like stable. That door was closed shut in this energy by your angels and by the universe. And it says you thought to yourself many things about you. Many things that helped you understand where you're supposed to be, where you can utilize your time more efficiently, more effectively, more openly, more honestly. Rebirth. The devil and recuperation is here. rebirth and recuperation. Change, transformation, and endings. The origin of Anaki, Greek goddess of destiny, are shrouded in mystery. Anaki is seen as the primordial mother who emerged at the beginning of time and is seen as the personification of fate and necessity. A serpentine being, her first act was to mate with her male counterpart, Kronos, and together they formed the world and became the ultimate power of the universe, controlling fate. Anaki and Kronos are said to encircle the cosmos to drive the rotation of the heavens and the eternal passage of time. They are beyond the reach of the younger gods, whose fates they are believed to control. Wow. Yeah, y'all. So I'm getting this energy where it's like you're operating off off of a frequency that controls another frequency. The younger gods in this energy. It's more of one that you're trusting and believing and having faith in. You are operating off of a frequency that creates like some type of like wave or results or outcomes for all different types of gods. And of course, take it as these resonate, right? These younger gods that are, younger than this god, like whose fates they are believed to control. It says all powerful Anaki is the goddess of whatever needs to happen, predestined fate that cannot be resisted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like the inevitable. Yes, the divine in the universe is actually in charge of the results that happen to each path, and it's all within divine timing, and it all has to do with something about destiny. Her presence signifies that one major phase in your life is ending, and she is opening the door to a new reality. It's time to take a deep breath, say goodbye to what has been, and look your future in the eye. Wow. Do not try to battle with the force of change. It says, understand that it cannot be held back anymore, but you can work with it. If you dig your heels in, fate will still take control. It's time to wave goodbye to any attachments that are not serving you. As humans, we are forever growing and moving forward to learn. Confirmation Collective, period. Ooh. It says whether it's in love, work, money, or life in general, you are leaving behind beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors that are past their sell-by date. Yeah, something's expired in this energy, friend. Something definitely expired within you, friend. It no longer exists, friend. I feel that it's heavily because of all of the work that you've been putting in. Everything that you had to endure and sit with and be honest about, friend, it's all paying off, and it's in a way that you would have never expected, and it's in a way that others still cannot fully understand. So I'm getting this energy where it's not to be concerned or reported or announced. It's more like one that it is this secret, you know, that's within you that you've been able to look yourself in the eye, friend, in a way that it's not just this eye here. It's not just these eyes or me looking in the mirror or me looking at my reflection. It's like your inner eye, like your higher self's eye. And also I got your lower self eyes that you looked at. You looked at your eyes, friend. It says whether it's in love, work, money, or life in general, you are leaving behind beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors that are past their sell-by date. And, you know, a lot of people say, I cannot change, I cannot transform, I cannot change this because I spent so many years with this specific belief. What would people think of me? What would people say about me? You know, I've had this belief for so long. I'm possibly here and there with it and this and this. Friend, this is what is transforming. This is the change that I was picking up. This is the ending to those old beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors that are already been expired, and you feel it in your soul. It says in the future you will develop healthier, stronger relationships and better strategies. We have recuperation here, the Four of Swords. Bless. And you know, a lot of these beliefs could have been what you believed in at the time. A lot of these attitudes could have been expressed because of what you were going through at that time. Not that it was the end all be all. Not that it was the final way of you viewing things or expressing yourself, okay? 12212 on the timer. Wow. Yes. Absolutely. The divine, the universe, God always takes care of his. Hey sis, I did it without the help of others. I did go through it alone. This is important. It was necessary and I'm grateful for it. To go through it is to master it. And that's very, very important. It's, you know, it's okay to receive assistance, help from a friendly neighbor or a kind individual or a family, or it's okay, you know, but not the things that we need and we must take care of ourselves, you know, not those things, you know. If I'm walking in the street and they're like, hey, can I help you with your bag or something like that, if I have a lot of groceries and whatever, I would say yes, because guess what? I would offer the same help and assistance too, and I would want them to say yes because I've seen that they need help and I'm there and I can help, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a timer, you on. But if someone is coming to you or you're going to someone about the same thing over and over and over again, and that person has been patient and kind to explain to you what it is that works for them, what it is that, you know, they do, not that you should do or not that we should do, but if that person is like, and then we're not learning, we're not doing it ourselves, we're not figuring it out, we're not figuring out what works for us, Okay, it's okay to ask, you know, let me pick your mind a bit. Like, what do you think about this? Or I really need to talk to someone right now. Can you talk to me? But if you know that that person doesn't have like a sound mind and is going to just like stroke whatever's not being like confronted within us, then we're not doing anything. You know, we're wasting a lot of our precious time and energy, you know, to stay in the same position, in the same place, without that change and without that transformation. You know, there's endings in our lives that are happening for us, not to us, not against us. It's for us, is what I'm picking up here. It says peace, sanctuary, and recovery. Recuperation. The Four of Swords is a moment of rest. It seems like you may have been overdoing things. You have endured certain obstacles and losses, but now it is time to retreat and rejuvenate. Wow, confirmation right there. You will be ready to go forth into the world soon enough. Perhaps you have been licking your wounds after a romance or relationship strife, or maybe work has been pushing you to your limits. You must take time to pause and surrender to rest and relaxation. Of course, there may be new challenges to come. That's life after all. But now it's time for nurture. Be kind to yourself. You'll come out stronger than ever before. Wow, guys. Thank you, universe, divine angels, and ancestors. Holy Spirit, Yeshua, for confirmation for this beautiful read for all of us today. Period. Yeah, it's beautiful to get to a place where you can like live life and, you know, not see it as a lesson. You know, if you can get to the place, and I believe all of us can get to the place where we just experience life and feel everything around us and within us, then I feel that's like a point of like beautiful mastery from within. But there's also on this specific reading a huge emphasis about learning, learning lessons. There's been times where I thought I promise y'all, I thought I was gonna love a specific experience. I was 100% certain. I was like, yeah, I am down. And I was misaligned. I was completely misaligned. And in those particular situations, that's where the honesty has to come in and say, you know, it's okay that I'm misaligned here. And if you were around like, you know, loved ones, friends, family, people, or whatever, and they didn't feel misaligned or they didn't feel anything wrong, they loved the experience, and that's okay. Whatever the case may be. How y'all doing, gun? Yes, it is so freeing. It is so freeing. And it'll show a lot, you know. It'll reveal a lot. When you're honest with yourself truly, so many things will come out to discovery. You'll discover so many things when you're just honest with yourself and not burdened or worried by whatever externally is going to happen or will happen, or reaction or lack of reaction, or no attachments in that regard. When you just do things for exactly like for you and your alignment and your path like that, a lot will reveal itself about you and about everything else. Oh, thank you so much. God bless you abundantly. It is so freeing too. You almost feel like, oh my gosh, like now I have nothing holding me back. Now I can just be whatever that is, right? And when we're just being, there's such fewer opportunities for our vibration to be affected and lowered. But when we're not just being ourselves and when we're not doing what we know is aligned with us, that's where we can feel the friction in the energy. Yes. Yes, and everybody can kind of feel when you're being honest. The scary part about this, which you shouldn't be scared, but I would say one of the most interesting things about this is that some people love your honesty and some people don't like your honesty at all. Like, they despise your honesty. But it's almost like this energy was like, what gives you the right to be honest if I haven't been honest in 30 years? What gives you the right to just sit there and be honest about who you are and be perfectly fine with it if I haven't been able to do that my entire life? What gives you the right? That's how it feels in this energy. And the strength that it takes to just continue to be honest and continue to just be yourself, that's a lot of strength, y'all. That is strong. To not posture to make others feel comfortable or to not mask up. That's something that can really erupt some volcanoes. We all have the right to be us. Feedback in form of honesty. Is it really healthy? And we should give each other more of it. And for some people, especially if it comes from someone else, it really is really surprising and scary. Oh yeah, at those moments you're almost like when you realize it, because if you're also having a discerning spirit, and you realize that they got uncomfortable with whatever you know, you're doing or not doing, right? Just with you being, if they got uncomfortable, it's like that story of David. Like, it can send enemies to create some type of traps. It can trigger a angry volcano to erupt. It can cause a reaction that needs to happen within that vessel, but also, you know, your reaction or lack of reaction at that point is very important. Yes. And yeah, scary for, I would say, the more uncomfortable one, because the empath in me always wants to, obviously never wants to make anyone feel uncomfortable in any way. So I know what they're about to go through internally, so I'm like scared for them in a way, because it's almost like it turns into this experience where it's like, oh shit, like now they might see me a certain way, but really it's what they need to confront within themselves. So then I'm just like, oh shit, like the volcano's about to erupt, like in a way that is going to help in the long run, hopefully. But I know that none of these processes are easy to face, especially when they're like attachments that's been like sewed in and attached for many, 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 many years. Okay, 36 on the timer. So, but you might be pleasantly surprised, you know. You know, at times where you're just like, why did I alter who I am to fit somebody else's like mold or expectations? What if I just remained completely me in my being, and that could have possibly resulted in giving someone else the encouragement to do the same? So right now I'm feeling like there's like no time for, like, there's not a second more to waste in being us, in being who we truly are. You know, because on the flip side, it also does encourage others, and it also can give yourself and others a sense of like ease and like that wholeness experience, you know, where we can embrace like all parts of one another, right? If you hide that, it brings confusion. It does. Do you have any dildo suggestions for me? I don't know what that means. For everybody, be honest to be and be yourselves. Seriously. Even if it's like, you know, you feel you're like in a bad mood that day. You're just like, I'm just not in the mood. I'm working hard to fix my mood today. Like, that's just how you feel. That's how you feel. You get what I'm saying? Or I'm feeling great. And that's how you feel. Somebody else is not feeling great, then that's how they feel. You know what I mean? Like, allowing. Yes, our creator definitely knows exactly who we are. So it's like, if we're hiding, who are we hiding from? If we're masking, if we're covering up, if we're suppressing, if we're trying to like control who we really are and like dim it down and all that stuff, who do we think we're hiding it from? Right. So it's kind of like, why would we try to in the first place? Some of us also do it subconsciously without even noticing. It's just like autopilot. That's when you know. When you catch yourself doing stuff on autopilot that you were programmed to do or designed to do or expected to do, that's that moment where you're just like, whoa. And you start like radiating this frequency that's like taking you away from that completely. It comes and gets you. Yes, and insecurity is a terrible thing that can touch all of us if we allow it. Guys, I've been projected on so much in my life. Not even kidding. Before I even could even take a good look at myself in the mirror and figure out if I liked what I saw, I was taught that insecurity was being humble. That's what I had to work throughout my life. Can you imagine? I don't know if you've been through this, but I was taught that being insecure was being humble. That's messed up, right? And when I came to the realization that I was only being insecure to make others feel better. Ooh, 1441. No, it was 14141 there. It was like this mind-boggling experience. I was like, do I not like my hair? Or do you not like my hair? Do I not like my body? Or do you not like my body? Do I not like my facial features? Or do you not like my facial features? It could be anything, y'all. It could be, do I not like my voice? Or do you not like my voice? It's all of those things. It's crazy when you catch on to it. It's like, it's really out of this world epiphany. It seems so simple, but it's so important to track and to catch and to destroy and to dismantle, because it's all a form of programming, right? It really is. And you can't really be mad at those that have projected things out to you. You can't be mad at them at all, in a way. But to give yourself a chance is to give humanity a chance. To not fall into that is to do a favor for the person that was used to attack you in that way. You continue to be exactly who you are. 144 on the timer. I've been seeing that number like crazy lately, y'all. And you don't budge on who you know you are. And it gives them the opportunity over time to at least try to begin the process. of knowing who they are. It's not fun though. You already know while you're having fun on this side, on the other side, you already know that you already just did the work of the Lord, friend. I don't know. Terminology, of course. God bless you guys abundantly. Says, it is good we come to the core. You also deserve some extra attention. Oh, the programming we have to unlearn is in our lives. When I realize how much of programming is in me, it's crazy things we believe. Absolutely. I was like, dang. Like, when I look into myself and I see like everything that was programmed or tried to be programmed within me, I was like, dang, there's a lot. I gotta clean up shop. I gotta start, you know what I'm saying? This is all construct. 14545 on a timer. It's all designed, okay, to truly limit us. Alright? And it's not something to be angry about. It's just something to fully be in acceptance of, aware. Okay? This reminds me of Queen. I was born to love you with every single beat of my heart. Period. Yeah. And it's designed to stick to us. Those things that were projected out to us is designed to stick to us. So we don't look at ourselves through a clear lens. We will then subscribe to that about ourselves that was never supposed to be there in the first place. If you both have time, look at Escape Plan, Sylvester Stallone and Arnold. Good movie, and the way to escape out of this situation. Period. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna watch that. I love Sylvester Stallone. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. And I also love Arnold a lot. They're awesome. And then awesome. Andre, was the Queen I Was Born to Love You with Every Single Beat of My Heart a song name? Or was that like a download or both? It reminds me of Queen, I Was Born to Love You with Everything. So was that a song? Thank you. Period. Alright, y'all. Let's see. Thank you, Andre. Definitely gonna be listening and watching that later. It says, turn from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. Wow, weren't we just on Psalms 38? This is Psalms 34. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. Period. 14949 on the timer. John 15:11. Yes, this joy. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my stronghold of my life, and whom shall I be afraid? Psalms 27:1. These are like confirming a lot of the downloads today, y'all. It says, but even if you should suffer for what is right, you are blessed. Do not fear their threats. Do not be frightened. 1 Peter 3:14. Thank you, Father, for confirmation. It says, refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil. Yeah, I was getting that heavily here. You know, some of us could have like a very short fuse at times, okay? 15050. Some of us can be real quick with it. Like, once we get upset, like, it's like the wrath of God comes out. And, you know, we have to refrain from that stuff. We have to really, really sit with that, okay? And figure out, okay, all right, I have a temper. Cast your cares to the Lord, and He will sustain you. Yes, that preserve word and sustain word. It says He will never let the righteous be forsaken. Period. It says those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. So much confirmation right there, y'all. Absolutely, y'all. There's a reason why we say what we say. There's a reason why we do what we do. There's a reason why we don't say what we do not say. And there's a reason why we don't do what we do not do. Okay? It's not a coincidence. It's not just, anything. It's coming through as extremely sacred. 12:12 on the timer. It doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter how it sounds. It doesn't matter. We already know this, friends. It's definitely the energy of your sacred, divine heart and soul and lights, friends. It really is. But yeah, y'all, that was the read for today. Thank you so much for tapping in with your Sis Rock. I love you guys so much. Thank you to everybody in the chat. I love you guys so much. God bless you guys abundantly. Do you believe we are building our realities through our thoughts? Whatever I say or I think of, it will happen sooner or later, even the bad thoughts. Okay. So this is good. So I think we're all thinking about our thoughts. Collective is going through a season or seasons where we think about our thoughts a lot. And we ask ourselves questions. Where does it originate from? Where did it come from? I want to say they're all us. I want to say our thoughts are all us. And all of the thoughts, whether they be good or bad, should be handled with respect and consideration. Sometimes I say, especially the ones that scream fear to me, The thoughts that scream fear, sometimes I'm just like, just shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not trying to hear none of that right now. You know what I mean? But I have to take those thoughts and I have to hold them for a while to see why that is. I do believe that those thoughts could have already happened. At some point, some of those thoughts could even be a memory of some kind of like past life experience too. We also could get deeply and talk about telepathic communication. It's such like a broad experience because there's so many different channels. You know, there's so many different frequencies, so many different channels, so many different it really depends on the access too. You know, so many different walks, you know, because some of us like allow a lot of access into our lives and then some of us don't allow much, and who's to measure what's a lot and what's not. So I feel when you're being flooded with thoughts, whether they be negative or positive, I feel that the best thing to do is to just sit still. And I know that's hard because especially in moments where you have to make a decision, where you have to come to a decision, you have to make, you know, choices that can really like dictate the way that your life unfolds, but really it's just in the 3D really that could be affected, and then of course you can change it if you don't like it. But really what's important is what sits right with your soul. Which of those thoughts sit right with you and which of those thoughts don't? And which of those thoughts will take you to your higher self? Because once you're at your higher self, there's like a door that opens that will show you your next highest self. And then so on and so forth. Sometimes sitting with those negative thoughts will bring you to your higher self. Some people say, oh, get rid of all the negative thoughts and don't experience it, don't feel them, don't hang out with them, don't spend time with your negative thoughts. But why not? You thought it. Somebody else said it. And it's all like this chain domino effect that we're all connected. It's going to come out some way, somehow. Whether it be through me or through you. Or through all of us. You know. And who's to label what's good and bad anyhow? I don't know. So with our thoughts, I think it's an experience where you can play and have some creativity. And if you have some horrible thoughts, take that energy and transmute it and put it into a passion that's creative for you. Because it's a part of you. Or it was sent to you by like some type of communication and projection for a reason. And you can change it for the benefit of you and the benefit of all. The best way you know how at that time. So they're all welcome, but also there's times where if it's too intrusive and it's too invasive and not aligned with you and they're bothersome, it's okay to tell those types of thoughts to just shut the fuck up, because nine times out of 10 they're in a territory that they're not allowed to be in. So, and then yeah, it really just depends on how we see like what words mean as like labels and things like that. Like, because what if something I'm doing like is good to me, but then maybe to someone else is like, that's the worst thing that you could ever do. And I'm like, how is that possible? Because it's the best thing that I could do for me. 5959 on the timer. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you as well. It goes deep, guys. And everybody, that's what I'm saying about everybody's on that path, right? Like, everybody's on that path for them. I could think some crazy shit sometimes. You already know I could be thinking some crazy shit. It doesn't mean I'm just not pretending. I'm not faking nothing. I'm like, I'm gonna have some shitty ass thoughts sometimes, and it all means something. Because who's to say like that same second someone across the world didn't just have the same thought? Like, it could be used as a confirmation to that person or to me or to whoever. Some thoughts don't deserve like life. Even though I do think thoughts are life, like I do think that is a form of life in itself. Exactly what you were probably asking, if it will manifest or something in your life eventually. But I do believe that there are some thoughts that don't go past here, and they don't align with you at all, and they just die there, that they don't come out through an expression, whether it be physical expression, your verbal, your words. Okay, sometimes I feel that when I'm expressing myself and I feel a throat chakra blockage, that might be like a signaling that that's something that shouldn't be expressed. Or sometimes I'll get the very opposite, where I'll get it as like it was some type of, throat chakra attack that I have to now say it. So it really depends. Or act on it, or do that thing, or not do it, so. Oh, Andre wants me to say what's good for, an example, what's good for me. Let me think. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst at examples. Oh, let me feel. Not think, let me feel. I love to dance. I love to dance. Like, dancing is in me. I can't make sense of it. I can't. It's something that I don't want to control. And it's something that's like liberating and free. And sometimes I can express something through my body and dance that I would have never been able to express in any other way. And so that's a good example, because like, there might be a different consciousness that might see the way that I dance or see me dancing, and Either think it's lovely or either think it's batshit crazy and horrible. So I guess that's one. It's like, and it definitely comes from within. I wasn't taught how to. Even though, you know, growing up, I have friends when we were in high school, and they're Dominican, and they taught me a lot about how to dance bachata and merengue. But I'm talking about this dance that like comes from like within like parts of me that you can't really explain or understand. It's not supposed to be designed to either look good or be good or whatever. It could seemingly look bad. It could seemingly look like something that I don't know. But that's what I mean, is that it's for us to decide. It doesn't feel like a choice either, like with this. You know, so to be like projected, shamed, or blamed for something that comes so naturally to me, I could listen. I can listen and I can suppress it and never dance again. But what would that do for my walk? What would that do for me if I'm supposed to dance? And I'm not saying everybody's supposed to. I'm saying I'm supposed to. Yes. Who am I to question what I remembered from the beginning of time? I remember in elementary school, I got in trouble one time because I was dancing in the hallway. And I grew up in a Catholic school for many years. And I was dancing in the hallway. And I remember just like, it almost went into like a break dance kind of thing. I'm not even kidding you guys. And I was just like, hey, because I had my stockings on, and I was like, these floors are nice and slippery, and like, yeah, like, you know, expression of the child that I was. It was just so amazing. And I got home that day, and my dad, I wasn't even thinking about it. Didn't even think about it. Like, just did it, whatever, lived my best life, got back up, went back to class, did it up. Got my A's, and I was a pretty good student too. And I got home and I was just doing me, whatever, living life, whatever. My dad tells me, he's like, so they told me that you was dancing in school today in the hallway. And I had to think back, and I remember trying to remember like what could have he possibly been talking about, because I guess the dance came so natural to me that I would have never in a million years thought that that's something that someone would have relayed to my parent as something that's negative in any way. And the way that my dad expressed to me, which shows me how it was expressed to him, was that it was something negative. I know it wasn't like this moment where it was not fitting for the environment. Like, it wasn't that, because it was during, like, we were in the hallway, and it was like more like a recess fun playtime or whatever, and everybody was kind of like having fun and doing them or whatever. I didn't even know anybody was really even watching me. Like, I was just living my best life, not even kidding. I don't know, at this time I had to have been super young, maybe like 4th, 5th grade. But the way my dad told me was like, if I misbehaved, if I did something really bad, really horrible from like a place where it didn't come from. I was told that to myself. Like, he told me about myself that didn't align with me, who I was, what I was doing, what I was expressing, all those things. And it dimmed the joy that that very action brought to me. That was like so organic and so natural, man. You couldn't ask me why I did that. If he asked me why I did that, I wouldn't have had an answer. I would have just been like, I just wanted to. And then he would have maybe said I was disrespectful, or I don't know, wanting attention, or blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on. But that's just one example. But I mean, I've had thousands and thousands of similar experiences. And I suppose it's with the challenge, or the thought challenge or something, that whether or not we're going to subscribe to that belief. Okay? And that goes with anything that you're doing, friend. That anything that you feel that you want to do, or that you need to do, or that you must do, if there's like a hole in the energy by an external force, even if it's well-intentioned, but it doesn't align with you, it's important not to subscribe to that. Because what happened, for many years, I didn't move my body. What ended up happening was that I thought something was wrong with me, and I thought that I really did think like maybe everybody would think that I'm just looking like for some type of attention or something, or that I'm misbehaving, or whatever that may mean. All those things, right? And it got me. It got me for a few years until it didn't. Now, whenever I want to dance, I dance. Whenever I want to. I'm saying I be outside in the middle of doing whatever, and I feel like I want to dance, I start dancing. Why not? It's within me. Nobody's making me do it. It's me. So that's just one example. Thank you for asking. Yes, this is the child and the damage they do to you. There is nothing wrong with you. There was something wrong with the judgments about you. Yes, and these are, older people at the time, like, judging me. And I'm the child. You get what I'm saying? So I think about stuff like that. And I'm just like, it's kind of like that Michael Jackson movie. Did you guys watch the Michael Jackson movie? You know? They thought Michael Jackson was so weird. And the world could have decided to reject that or accept that. And so many embraced that. His gifts. What made him different. I wasn't alive during like the time where he was like up and coming and like, but a very unique individual, and he battled with a lot of like abuse, just because of who he was. But he also was a great person. Like, he loved animals, and he had a sweet soul. And he changed many people's lives. He inspired a lot of people. And I don't know what he specifically experienced like in his life internally, but I'd imagine a lot of breakthroughs in order for him to express all that he was able to express in his short life. Yeah, Whitney Cummings. I don't know who that is, but I'll love to check her out to see. Poor MJ, he did not deserve the treatment he got from closest people, yes. He was one of the good ones. I felt that heavily. I heard that like his father was like extremely abusive or something like this. And like wanted to like use him since like a child for like his talents and gifts, but it was like abusive. You know. I saw the movie in the movie theater. It was pretty good, guys. You guys should check it out if you haven't watched it already. I don't know if they're coming out with the part 2. But yeah. How's everybody doing today? Good. Whitney Cummings. I have to check out a picture of her. The lyrics of the songs are deep from MJ. You are from... So are from George Michael. Yeah, if you listen to some of the Michael Jackson songs and you really sit there, you could sit there for hours. You know how many downloads could come in? Woof. So many. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I mean, I'm no Michael Jackson, but imagine if they just like saw him dancing as a kid and then they were just like, don't do that. That looks so stupid. Don't ever do that again in your life. And then he never ended up doing what he did in his life. That could have happened. You know, that definitely could have happened. Faith and father figure and one more try, etc. What do you mean? Sorry. Oh, okay. Thank you. And one more try. Thank you. Yes, y'all. Yeah, I was definitely raised around people that they did not approve of dancing. That's not so. And then if you're born in it, if you're born with like the urge to do that, oh my god, forget it. Forget it, guys. Got targets on your back from the inside automatically. Action oriented came out. Tenacity, triumph. Contemplation. Someone's thinking about taking some type of action here. There's contemplation about taking action on a specific possible goal or something that will bring triumph, but it requires a lot of tenacity here. Or you've been thinking about something that you've been action oriented about, taking like head-on action. Creativity. Taking action on your creativity, on the things that you create within you, like your thoughts, like we were talking about, your feelings, things that are originally coming from you, the source, okay? Creativity, there's been thought about this, a lot of contemplation. Things that you might want to be doing or that you've been doing. Success again, guys. Okay, we have loss and we have recuperation. Wow. All right. You know, something about failure as well. Like, failing is actually being successful. Like, failing at something that you never tried before is actually the definition of actual success. Being able to recuperate and heal yourself is success in itself. Contemplating about some type of creativity, having that tenacity is success in itself. Taking actions on these things will lead you to triumph and success. And that loss there is like a win, is what's coming through here. Meditation is here. There's been some type of healing that you did, that you realized that when it happened, whatever happened, friend, that you might have felt broken or you might have felt so much pain, but you were able to like recuperate and heal from whatever loss this was. And this energy, like the King of Swords. I want to read about the King of Swords. It's a divine masculine energy here. Beautiful. Now we have the Queen of Swords, abundance and options. Let me see. Show me meditation and recuperation. I want to read about 3 cards here. I want to read about tenacity, creativity, and meditation here. And if you guys heard any other words that you want me to read about, more in depth about, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to do that. Dreaming. Meditation and dreaming. There's like we were talking about earlier in this chat. It was like these dreams. It could be in your waking daydreams or in your sleeping dreams or in your meditative dreams, right? That brings like what seems absurd amount of creativity to you. Thank you. Contentment. And it brings so much contentment. Letting go is here. Wow, the color blue is coming out crazy. Power is here. Letting go. Power. It's like what we were just talking about. Just like letting go so that you can almost like be in your full power. It's when you're in like a meditative state, friend. New beginnings, movement, upheaval. Look at that volcano coming through again. Let's see. The tower moment. It says new beginnings, movement, upheaval. But you know, this upheaval, this person looks content. This person looks happy, at peace, at ease. It might cause an upheaval, friend, or you might notice that it causes upheaval in the energies. I got the word buzz. Like a lot of buzzings. Noise, static to these endings. These endings cause upheavals for someone in this energy. But this is a new beginning and movement for you. Loyalty is here. Burdens and responsibilities. Awareness and anxiety. Wow. This is like, what am I loyal to? What am I loyal to? Am I loyal to my burdens, to my anxieties? There's awareness when it comes to this. Someone in the energy is being like portrayed as like the villain in this scenario because they're aware about any type of like anxieties and burdens and responsibilities that's put out onto them is coming through here. They're not loyal to that. They're loyal to something else, okay? They're not subscribing to this. It says endings and upheavals here with moving and new beginnings. Wow. Someone's moving and having a new beginning and they've been loyal to this. Look at the difference in the energy, in the colors. There's so much dreaming here. There's so much creativity here. There's so much meditation, visualization, manifestation in this energy. But then there's a different avenue that's anxious and burden filled and filled with responsibilities, and there's an awareness about this. Endings and upheaval, yes. Let me see. Self-awareness and awareness is so important here when it comes to this adventure. Okay? Whatever adventure you're going on, friend, Yeah, there are external energies that are disappointed about your healing. Okay, I have to say this. Or maybe that you felt disappointment throughout your healing journey, friend. Let me see. You're aware about these projections in regards to anxiety and burdens. Learning, growth, and justice. That's what's fair. You caught on. Yes, you caught on, friend. You definitely did. Your awareness grew. And you learned a lot. And you learned what was fair, baby, in the energy. There's also surrender here. And power. Surrender to your power, friend, and destiny. Yes, baby. Even when those moments where you get nostalgia, and you might want to turn back, might want to turn back time, go down memory lane and all that. Be aware of that. I'm not giving advice, you know, but it's more of a confirmation. The surrendering to your power is so important here. Passion. Guys. This is the telepathy oracle cards. I like this one. Hey, VJ Bankroll. I know, this is a long read. Of course. I missed you guys. Allure and marriage is here. Consider the situation carefully. The marriage of souls is the unions of two divine opponents. Possibly a divine feminine, divine masculine. This is a new deck, guys. Well, I've had this one for a while, but I mean new as in like in today's reading. Let's see. Value, twin flame, honor, and feelings. Alright, focus on things of value. Twin flames themselves contain an aspect of each other's personality. Treat the people you love with respect, and you'll find your relationship becomes stronger. Take the time to explore the deep emotions you are experiencing. There's a soul connection here. That one, if not both, have been considering the situation very carefully. It's titled as marriage, so it could be marriage. But it could also be marriage within the souls. It says, focus on things of value. Twin flames themselves contain an aspect of each other's personality. Treat the people you love with respect, and you'll find your relationship becomes stronger. Take time to explore the deeper emotions you are experiencing. Synchronicity. Boundary. Divine soul matches have amazing moments of synchronicity. Having sensible boundaries is important here. Okay, so I'm picking up on an energy. There's love here as well. Okay, I'm picking up on an energy here that that's been catching themselves feeling some types of ways about somebody that they have a soul connection to. Okay, and they're noticing like their deep emotions in regards to like this person that they have like a lot of feelings for. And a lot of synchronicities has been popping up in this person's life or yours about this specific flame, about this specific twin flame connection that was alluring, okay, for you. It's coming out that this might have been even not specifically, but it might have been a situation where you found yourself being kind of mean, or this person being kind of mean to you, and figuring out like why. Or having like these thoughts where it's like, I want to like value this person in ways that like I really don't fully understand, and I want to honor them, and I want to honor myself, but I have to explore these deep feelings first, because for whatever reason, like boundaries have been set, or there's been some type of guidance to set some type of boundaries, but these boundaries are coming through as like a more sensible boundary. It's like coming through as healthier. It says love can conquer everything. I'm getting a visual of like a divine feminine, divine masculine, like butting heads, not trying to butt heads. And they notice when they set like some type of like boundary to like take a second and acknowledge and explore their deeper emotions that they're experiencing. They notice that like synchronicities like have been almost like undeniable at this point for this specific connection. Love connection is what I'm getting here. Because we have the word accept. It says be prepared to accept what fate has in store for you. Show me. Confusion, rekindle. It says all seekers of the truth will experience confusion. Ask the universe to provide the answers you need. Every relationship has those magical moments that can be rekindled. Yeah, there is a message here talking about a relationship that at times like the divine feminine and the divine masculine clash in the energy. But it doesn't necessarily mean that there's no love here. It actually means that it's like there's so much love, there's so much honor, and there's so much value, but there's confusion in the energy because each one is exploring their own deep emotions and experiencing it all at once. Each person is seeking the truth, and it causes confusion at times. But there's been like these synchronicities and this like rekindling of like magical moments that, as I said, like it's just like undeniable love. Enlightenment and openness. It says with enlightenment there is no separation. We realize that we are one with the divine. Openness. Be open to receiving divine guidance in relationships. Absolutely. It's that one that talks about like, okay, like I'm not gonna pretend like I know it all, and I don't think you are gonna pretend like you know it all. I think that we can set like these clear boundaries and express like our feelings, possibly to ourselves and to the other love is what I wanted to say, the other twin flame. Okay, this is a marriage too, it could be, all right, but it doesn't have to be. But it's like there's deeper emotions that there's been like confusion about for some time here. And the enlightenment and the openness card came out here. Clarity. It says, take a moment to think about your situation to figure it out. Yep, that's what I was picking up. It was like someone that was taking time, taking a moment to really figure out why they feel that they have to set such strong boundaries over like a alluring soul connection that they would like to value, honor, and accept. And there's been like this enlightenment and openness and clarity in regards to this. Like, I'm getting this like conversation of someone seeing someone else like kind of, they feel that someone else is like being argumentative or getting on them too much. Something like that. And I don't think that the one that's getting on them, whatever that may mean, or being argumentative is meaning to get on them or be argumentative, but it's just like a clashing of something that needs to be worked on within. But there's this allure. What's this allure about? Thank you. Tree, universe, it says, tell the tree what you really think. It says the universe is guiding you towards a special someone. Just let everything take its course. Yeah, there's just something that you or this person cannot deny from this connection. And the universe is saying, like, take time to kind of like go within and talk to yourself. It's coming through like as a tree. Like, some of you guys might be talking to trees. I don't know. Before my trip this weekend that I have gone on, I spoke to all my plant kids. And I was like, okay, you guys be good. Take care of one another. Be, you know, do good. I came back. They're fine. I wonder if I was talking to them or talking to myself. I'm not too sure. Or talking to you guys or talking to something in the universe. I don't know. Definitely the universe is guiding you towards that special someone. Just let everything take its own course. But there's this alluring... You know, it's the allure that really aligns with like the synchronicities and like feeling it in your soul. It's what's coming through here, that this might be actual true love. It says telepathy, reconciliation, and 1111, baby. And then the first few cards, the twin flame card came out. It says learn to reconcile with yourself. That's what I was picking up. Is this reconciliation like with yourself that will manifest some type of reconciliation with the twin flame or a love in the 3D? It says 1111 is an important number for twin flames, symbolizing harmony and balance in soulmates. Close soul connections harmoniously synchronized, reenacting the telepathic moments. Yes, you and this person are telepathically connected, okay? And it says reenacting. So the thing is, sometimes you may act out in a certain way that is reflective of how they feel, okay, or vice versa, okay? So taking time for yourself in strong love connections, telepathic connections, twin flame and soul connections, taking time for yourself is so important. It's not even funny, because that's how you'll know that that's how you know how you really think, how you really feel about everything. That's you allowing the universe to also guide you. Okay. It says feelings, take the time to explore the deep emotions you are experiencing. It's a lot of emotions is what I'm feeling here. And sometimes it can get very intense is what I'm picking up. Love you guys. Thank you. All glory to the divine. Yeah. Likewise, guys. You guys are definitely open channels. Source. Beams of lights. Love you guys so much. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody in the chat. There's no coincidence that we're here now. I don't know why I just started thinking about mold. I started thinking about like flies, molds. These flies are tired. You know how like the flies, they be flying around and you try to swat them or whatever and they're quick with it and you can't get them or whatever? No, that's not the flies I'm talking about here. I'm talking about flies that are like super tired. I'm talking about flies that will just sit right next to you and just be like, fine, just do what you gotta do. If you want to kill me, just kill me at this point. Like, that's what, like, or the ones that be on the walls, like, in moldy environments, humid environments that don't move. They just straight up foggy, confused, and tired. Let me see. The Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. And today, a lot of the downloads have been around finances and resources. The Moon card and the Five of Pentacles. The Four of Cups. Diligence, passion, hard work, high standards, mastery, apprenticeship, talent, skills, development, positive potential, saving money, wealth, security, scarcity, self-improvement, control, frugality, solid foundations, conservation, hard work, productivity, routine, responsibility, slow and steady, financial growth, achievement, good investments. The Moon card came out with the Five of Pentacles. It talks about illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious premonitions, of some type of financial loss, lack of faith, lack mindset, isolation, worry, defeat, loneliness, need, poverty, insecurity, fear, and low self-esteem. That came out with the elusive energy. And then the Four of Cups came out. It says meditation, contemplation, revelation, restlessness, disconnected, and boredom. The Five of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Three of Cups here. Acceptance, loss, sorrow, moving on, finding peace, personal setbacks, self-forgiveness, and bereavement. Celebration, joy, harmony, engagement, home, reunions, community, domestic happiness, creativity, freedom, and marriage. And then another celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, community, and happiness here. Show me this energy. The Death card. Endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, and end of cycle. I feel from this energy that you've been tapped into, you've been locked into what you need to be focused on for a minute now. Compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive and caring. Judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase. Absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. The Judgment card, the Death card here. Seeking personal closure, shortcut, delays, no closure, incompletion. Show me this. Guys, why the Lover came out? The Seven of Swords and the Eight of Wands. Okay, there is a lover in this connection here. And only take what resonates, y'all. There's a lover in this connection here that is seeking personal closure, shortcuts, delay, no closure, and incompletion in this love connection because of the betrayal, because of the deception, the dishonesty, and getting away with something, acting strategically, trickery, and fraud. They came in super fast, friend. Something, the Eight of Wands came in here. Let's see. I see divine light thinking about a lot of things. Impulsive, ruthless, high expectation, haste, unpredictable, unachievable expectations. There's like a love connection here. It doesn't have to be like necessarily romantic, but it could be that like this energy. Lack of long-term vision, limited success or rewards, distraction, work without results, delays, disappointment, lesser of two evils, no right choice, confusion, fear, worry, indecision, information overload, release, and delays. Yeah, there's a love connection here. I have to say how I'm receiving it. That is a complete like distraction and a disappointment. The Sun card. Positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy, warmth, celebration, success, and rebirth. All is well. Let me see. The Ten of Wands. Yo, my nose. 2-14-14 on the timer. My nose. There's like a message here, y'all. Like a message or some type of news or something, baby. That It brings out like stress and burden, extra responsibility, feeling overloaded, carrying too much. Keep going, end in sight and completion to this, okay? If someone's trying to call you or like tug on your line or something like this, and you could feel the imbalance, the axis, the extremes, okay? Could be alcoholism, it could be addiction, doesn't have to be. There's self-healing, realignment, and overindulgence here. Again, disharmony, misalignment, working alone, lack of teamwork, disorganized, and group conflict. Yo, these cards, I'm not gonna lie, these are some tough cards because they will literally tell you how it is. Straight up. They will reveal to you exactly what these elusive energies try to cause. Let me see. I'm gonna put all these in the upright and reshuffle. Because I did feel like a sense of like this scattering energy that like wanted to come in and try to like hit up your line to have you feel all scattered. But you saw the first 3 cards on the top that talked about passion, hard work, focus, determination, just someone really just like working on their craft in their own little world, like, or in their own big world, period. And there's messages that may be coming in, friend, that are misaligned, is what I'm getting here. That are like definitely like misaligned with like your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing, friend. That it kind of screams this energy of like lost mindset, lost mentality kind of thing. But let's look into it a little bit more, because did I put everything in the upright? The word delays came out so many times. That's what it really is in this energy, is to create some type of delays. But let's look at it a little more. All right, these are all good. All glory to the divine. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay. Okay, we have Ace of Pentacles. A circle is about to begin anew, and since the Pentacle suit deals in all things material, this reset could present itself in the form of a new career, better health, or something in that vein. Whatever is coming will bring great abundance. Be sure that you are prepared to harvest the gift of the pentacles once it arrives. Abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, and prosperity. Thank you. Okay. We have the Knight of Cups. Creativity, romantic, charm, imagination, beauty, knight in shining armor, following the heart and proposals. Long-term view, hard work, perseverance, diligence, investment, sustainable results, forethought, and rewards. Okay. You're feeling in touch with your emotions and have no qualms with listening to your heart over your head. Be sure that you're keeping things in check though, as everything needs balance. A person or message may be arriving soon, as the night often brings gifts in their suit. It says you understand the value of hard work and investing toward long-term goals. You are not interested in quick wins. The Seven of Pentacles is telling you to look at the bigger picture. You may be frustrated that some things are taking too long to come to fruition. Your efforts will not go unrewarded, but you must remain patient. Show me this Knight of Cups energy. The Wheel of Fortune. Good luck, karma, life cycles, destiny, turning point, change, inevitable fate, ups and downs, and unpredictable in this energy. It says you may be taking the good with the bad right now, and there is a cycle that you cannot control. Remember that no matter the outcome, the wheel always turns and nothing lasts forever. This offer it is coming through a little unpredictable. It's almost like you're someone that like you enjoy promising things. You enjoy things of like stability and things of structure, clear things, okay? So with this offer here, it is feeling like more like one that's like up in the air, and one that you're gonna have to really trust your intuition with, which may feel a little unsettling. Three of Pentacles, teamwork, collaborations, learning, implementation, building something, skills, security, goal, long-term rewards. Everything is coming together. And as the Three of Pentacles is indicating, you may be seeing success as a part of a team. Don't ignore the talents of others around you. Continue to collaborate to get the last push towards your final goal. There is definitely a... just saw 222 on the timer. Again, about a message. Intuition, sacred knowledge, subconscious, spirituality, divine feminine, high morals, trust yourself, wisdom, secret, mystery, and hidden. Yeah, there's something that's going to be that you're going to have to use your intuition with about these offers, about these messages. You're definitely going to have to use your intuition with it, even because you might not be able... I mean, the High Priestess, I mean, the intuition is basically like already kind of knowing, and it's not talking about like any type of like fortune teller or psychic or anything like that, y'all. It's more so of someone that their intuition is a gift, to the point where when they receive messages and it feels like a little unstable and uncertain, they can still move forward, or they can like either decide to move forward or decide to not move forward with these offers, okay, depending on the wisdom and the intuition within this person. There is a karmic feminine. It says creative block, selfish, impatient, codependent, inactive, lack of focus, indecision, overwhelm, anxiety, and infidelity here. Something in your... I'm talking about like you got these messages or these offers and something didn't sit right with you, friend, at all. Something didn't sit right with you at all, and it was almost like I need to sit still. I need to sit still. from these offers, okay? Not with what you got going on or what you're working on, but maybe that too in a different way. But let me see some. Again, the Eight of Wands came out super fast. Says you're busy, but this is a great thing. You're productive and making great strides. Strike while the iron is hot, removing distractions and devoting yourself entirely to an activity or an opportunity that will propel you even closer to your goal. Be mindful of where your energy needs to be placed and use it wisely. Oh yeah, friend. When there's about to be, oh, the Queen of Swords. When there's about to be like some type of major abundant breakthrough, that's when the delays and the distractions start to seep in, baby. 225 on the timer. That's when the creative offers and the romantic offers starts to come in, and you got to use your discernment, your intuition to be able to determine whether it's something real or elusive in this energy is what I'm picking up here. Not even kidding. Andre says, the outcome is already created. The road to it is the journey we have to enjoy. Yeah, we do have to enjoy, and it really just depends what you want to do. It really wants to, but you're gonna feel it, baby. Anything like low vibrational, karmic, overwhelming, full of anxiety, and like all this stuff, it's like impatience for you to make a decision or respond or something like that. Like you're gonna be sitting there, you're gonna be like, whoa, hold on. What's the rush? I'm trying to enjoy this. Yeah, sustainable results. Yes. It's like you talked. Oh, I already read that one. Sustainable results, y'all. Whatever you love will happen. I love that. Period. Yes. Yo. I'm gonna go eat something, guys. It's been so good. Of course, thank you guys. I'm smelling lavender right now. It's so good. Anyways, y'all, I'm out of here. But yeah, as I continue with my day, I'll continue connecting with each and every one of you guys through love. Congratulations on your abundance. I love you. I love your journey. And I'll see y'all soon, okay? Of course, guys. Yes, take those lavender baths, y'all. Woo! Guys, we should like all get something that's lavender and just smell it. Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alright, y'all. If y'all haven't subscribed, you already know what to do. Period. Join the family. I would love to have you. We would love to have you here. And yeah, y'all, talk to you soon. Bye. Yes, lavender happiness, period. Bye.